Good morning, class 7. In the last class, we have read a story, A King's Tale. This particular story was based on the story of King Arthur. Now, who was King Arthur? King Arthur was the son of King Uther Pendragon, who was the king of Britain many hundred years ago. Now, we have seen that after the birth of the baby boy, the two most trustworthy person, Merlin and Sir Ulfius, they have taken the baby boy to Sir Ector, another most trustworthy person of the royal family. They handed the boy to Sir Ector and told him to bring up the boy. Okay, and they named the boy Arthur. Okay. So why they handed King Arthur to Sir Ector? So that no one could take the prince's life. Okay. Now we will read unit 2 today, where we will see that the baby boy was being brought up very nicely. See, in the home of Sir Ector, Arthur, the son of the late king, was spending his boyhood in happiness and safety. As he grew older, he became gentle, strong, handsome and good like his father, Uther Pendragon. So, in the home of Sir Ector, King Arthur was being brought up very nicely. Okay. And as he grew older, he just became gentle, strong and handsome as was his father, King Uther Pendragon. Now 18 years passed, Britain was torn by bitter rivalry. None of the fighting barons had managed to become the king. The people longed for the old days of peace and prosperity under Arthur Pendragon. So 18 years passed and Britain was torn by bitter rivalry, means their bitter rivalry occurred and everybody was fighting to seize the throne, but no one was able. So the common people, they were suffering from the lawlessness and the unhappy days. So they longed for the old days of peace and prosperity under Uther Pendragon. It was Christmas time, a time of festivity, but all around Britain people were hungry, cold and frightened. One day in a churchyard, people found a large stone on which was fixed a magnificent sword. Upon the stone in gold letters was inscribed, "Whoever pulls out this sword is by right of birth the King of England." So it was Christmas time. Naturally, there would be happiness, there would be entertainment, enjoyment, but all around Britain there was no happiness. The people were only hungry, cold and frightened, means they were not happy. That time, one day in a churchyard, people found a large stone where a magnificent sword was fixed. And on the sword it was inscribed that whoever pulls out this sword, by birthright he or she would be the King of England. Immediately the eager barons who longed to become the king jostled among themselves to lift the sword. None succeeded. The sword remained fixed to the stone. So all tried, but no one was succeeded and the sword remained fixed over there. It was Arthur at the age of 18 who succeeded in lifting the sword for the first time. The barons were angry and disappointed. They demanded a test. So Arthur at the age of 18 only proceeded and was succeeded in lifting the sword up. Okay. So naturally every barons would get angry and they will be disappointed as they could not do this. Being older than Arthur, they could not do this, so they got angry. Upon a bright May morning, a great trial took place in the presence of many people. There were the peasants, the craftsmen, the merchants, as well as the barons. So they've demanded for a test, and so on a bright May morning, a test was arranged. Everybody was present over there. There were the peasants, the craftsmen, the merchants, as well as the barons, means everyone was present. And in front of the everyone, Arthur, slender and young, slender means very thin, very thin and young, Arthur lifted the sword easily. The crowd hailed him as the king. Hailed means welcomed. After becoming the King of England, Arthur's first duty was to secure peace in England. So, in this way, Arthur became the king, and after becoming the king, his first duty was to secure the peace in England, which was already lost. He was helped by wise Merlin. Like his father, Arthur was concerned about the good of the common people, means he also loved the common people very much. King Arthur fought battles so that no one could ill-treat the humblest of his subjects. So he fought many battles to give the what? To give the right judgment to all his subjects. King Arthur had lost his royal sword in a battle, but suddenly he lost his royal sword, that Excalibur. As I told, Excalibur is a magnificent sword, something which is magnificent belonging to the royal family. Okay, that is called Excalibur. So the sword was Excalibur, and that King Arthur lost in a battle. One day Merlin took him to a valley of sweet smelling flowers. At the edge of the plain there was a deep lake. As Arthur approached the lake, a beautiful arm with golden bracelets rose from the water. The land held a sword set with rubies and emeralds. So, as he lost the royal sword, now Merlin took him to a valley of sweet smelling flowers, where at the edge of the plain there was a deep lake, and as Arthur approached there, the lake, magically a beautiful arm with golden bracelets rose from the water. It was just like a magic. It rose from the water, and in the hand it has a sword that is set with rubies and emeralds. Okay, so that means it was just a magic that Arthur again got back the sword. Means the gods also wanted King Arthur to save his land. Okay, so they returned the sword to Arthur. That is why these are called legendary stories. Means there is something at the back of the story related to historical events, and there will be some magics also, some there will be some mythological elements also. Okay, so that is why this story is called legend. So read the story very well, students, and learn the word meanings also. On the next class we will solve the activities. Thank you, students.